How did your parents help you grow when you were a kid? Were they loving and understanding? Always there to catch you when you fall? Intently listening to everything you had to say and showering you with love? Or were they tough as nails, telling you to stand back up when you fail, to be strong, to work harder, to fight for what you want? In this video, we are exploring the concept of tough love at work. How can you apply tough love for yourself and for your team to achieve peak individual and team performance? Ready for some tough love? My name is Greg Angelbert. I've had about a 20-year corporate career where I went from being a trainee to eventually being a vice president and managing director. And I went from managing just myself to eventually having about 1,000 people under my responsibility. Today I'm a mentor, I'm a coach, and I help people, team, organization to reach the performance that they decide to achieve. Let's start by clarifying what tough love is not. It is not being tough in the name of love and therefore not showing any love. In a work environment, tough love is a leadership style that marries on one side high expectations and accountability, and on the other side support and guidance. That involves setting clear goals, expectations and consequences for underperforming team members, while also providing constructive feedback and resources to help them improve. The goal of tough love at work is to help the team and its individual members to grow, to improve themselves, to reach their full potential and to achieve greater results. It's based on the idea that people perform at their best when people are being challenged. They are being held accountable. That's not too scary, right? Let's talk about some examples of the behaviors that you might be practicing when you use tough love on yourself and with your team members. You provide or get clear and direct feedback on areas where team members need improvement in a respectful and non-personal manner. You hold yourself and team members accountable for meeting expectations and following company and team norms. You set clear consequences for underperformance. You encourage yourself and team members to take ownership of their own development and progress. You challenge yourself and team members to take on new and difficult tasks outside of their comfort zone. You provide and get resources and support to help team members improve and achieve their goals. You encourage yourself and team members to reflect on their own performance and areas for improvement. You offer and get recognition and rewards for improved performance and progress. And finally, you adjust your tough love style to people's different needs and learning styles. A few years ago, my manager, who was the president of the company, was doing with me a end-of-year review of my performance last year. I had to rate myself first, and then we would discuss it together. When it came to rating myself according to living the values of the company every day with my team, with myself, I rated myself average, maybe average plus. Even if I knew that factually I was probably a bit better than that, if not a lot better than that. When we did the review, he noticed that and he asked me, why did you rate yourself that way? I fuddled a pretty bad explanation about this kind of, being humble about it. And then he gave me some pretty direct feedback. He told me that I was whether unaware of myself and the way I was projecting myself, or that I was falsely humble. And he added that neither of those traits would serve me well as a senior leader. That was a good example of tough love. That was direct feedback, but that was aimed at my improvement, my development. None of the behaviors that we mentioned before are particularly easy to actually do. So what are you going to get out of doing this? Well, you get higher performance and better results through clear expectations and holding team members accountable. You also increase resilience as people push past their comfort zones. They can handle difficult situations more effectively. You help team members identify areas for improvement and work to develop their skills and abilities through constructive feedback and encouraging self-reflection. You help create a culture of accountability, where team members take responsibility for their actions and results. You help build trust and respect and improve overall team dynamics by fostering transparency, open communication, and a focus on improvement. Your team members will feel that their hard work and efforts are recognized and valued. They will be more motivated to perform at their best. And overall, tough love brings the right level of stress for people. It brings this level of stress which allows people to reach peak performance. You like this video so far? Then you know what to do, and also subscribe to the channel, put the notifications on if you want to receive more content like this every week. For summary of key points of the video, tools that help you and your team perform at your best, then check out my Patreon below for all the material. And check out the videos of other YouTubers down below where they talk about the same concept of tough love. That might be interesting. Tough love is a spectrum that actually goes from 100% being tough to 100% delivering love. Most of the behaviors that you will have every day will actually sit somewhere in the middle of this spectrum. But sometimes you will use extreme behaviors because, well, we don't always get it right. Let's look first at tough and helpful extremes. You have using a negative, demeaning or personal tone when delivering feedback. Constantly monitoring, controlling team members' actions with no room for autonomy or creative problem solving. Focusing solely on punishment and consequences rather than on improvement and growth. Being inconsistent in your expectations and consequences leading to a perception of unfair treatment. And failing to recognize and reward good performance leading to a negative and demotivating work environment. For example, if you're someone with a high level of competence in your job, in everything that you do, if you have a manager who is always on your back, always checking what you're doing, you're not going to find that very amusing. You're going to be quite annoyed, and it's in effect fighting against your psychological need of autonomy. All the behaviors mentioned can lead to a low level of morale, decreased performance, and high turnover in the team. Why is that? Because you destroy some of the most important psychological needs that we have as human beings that we need to see expressed. And that's the concept of ARC, the psychological needs of autonomy, relatedness, and competence. If you want to learn more about your motivation and your staff motivation, check out the concept of ARC that there is in this video here and here. Let's now take a look at love unhelpful extremes. Failing to set clear expectations or boundaries and indulging in team members' every request or whim. Not holding team members responsible for their actions, allowing them to avoid consequences and become complacent. Shielding team members from criticism or failure even when it would be beneficial for their growth and development. Failing to challenge team members to push beyond their comfort zones and grow in their roles. Not providing regular, specific and actionable feedback so that team members are unable to improve and reach their full potential. Failing to communicate expectations clearly, leading to confusion and underperformance. And allowing team members to avoid taking responsibility for their actions and results. For example, if you're uncomfortable with conflict, you might end up practicing a lot of those behaviors. Another example is if you try to be a friend to your staff, and some of them it will work, they will work closely with you, and others might try to take advantage of this. If you end up using extreme behaviors, then always be clear about why you've actually done that. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I'm trying to do the best for the person that I'm trying to help? Or am I actually doing this because it helps me the most? It's time to get practical. How would you get those tough love behaviors delivered to yourself and to your team? There are a number of tools that you need to master to become good at tough love. One is self-awareness. You need to be cognitively, emotionally self-aware so you can engage in the best way possible with people around you. Another one is situational awareness, so you are able to read a situation and adapt your approach accordingly. Feedback and feed-forward are very helpful so people see where they stand and you can help them grow. Using love and appreciation languages, so you acknowledge people in a powerful and personal way. Learning to be a good coach, which helps support personal agency for yourself and your staff so they can decide the path they take, the learnings they want to bring to their life. Some people that I coach prefer a tough approach to coaching. They want me to challenge them. Whether other people prefer that I bring a soft touch, that I'm actually more supportive. And sometimes what people want is helpful to them, but sometimes it is not. That is a moment that you can shine some light on different perspectives that the people might not see, and that helps them realize what would be the proper path for them to help achieve their aspirations. If this seems like an awful lot of things to learn and move forward with for yourself and for your team to actually get better, then look for help. Your manager or your peers or your HR department might be able to help. Also, I'm a coach, so I help individuals and teams develop those tough love behaviors. Reach out through the link in the description if you feel ready to grow. If you're a new team leader, manager, coordinator of people, you might be under a lot of stress. In this video here, I explain what are the 7 key major stresses that you can have in your new job and also what you can do about it. Check it out.